Hello and welcome to this edition of Big Sky 35. Uh, I was going to go and deep dive into how my thoughts are and to continue on with the PSA um, and how I do grading. Um, but I think I will talk more about grading probably tomorrow night. I feel a little something special tomorrow night. I usually do some of it on Saturday, but I'm going to save all of it for tomorrow night because I feel like my last few Sundays have been a little bland since Chris. Chris brought a little juice. Uh, I don't know if I have anybody on tomorrow night. Tomorrow, I level up. One more year around the sun for me. So Virginia just scored. Today went on a little trip. Just there's no shows around here, so I just kind of made my own adventure. Went down to Cary, North Carolina, to Limited Run Games. It's a gaming company, but I also hit a card shop there, and that's what I kind of wanted to talk about tonight and continue some of this conversation tomorrow night and get some thoughts from y'all. I had came to the and it was like an hour and a half drive, hour 45 minutes. Then it was an accident, but 2 hours. I was in a hurry to get back from the Virginia game. Had a good day, as you can see. I picked up Bowman Chrome, new Disney product that came out this week. But I picked up a hobby box from the card shop there in Cary. Beautiful card shop. Went in. It's at a strip mall, double door, so they didn't have the middle wall. One side was all sports. They had a lot of boxes, selling them at pretty much going rate or a little less than what was on it. They had Chrome Hobby at $2.99. I can't remember about what it was. Like, I think when it came out, it was over 300, right? So I was like, but the one thing I did hear was the young man was selling it to somebody. I guess he already bought one box of it. He was like, let me have another. And the guy was asking, what's the best thing about this box? And this guy was just buying stuff. He wanted a box of 2019 or no, 2018. And the guy was like, well, that's a hard box to find now. That class was such a big one. It's hard to find that sealed. And he goes, well, let me have another box of Chrome then. And the guy goes, well, what's the best thing in that? He goes, well, it's not too good of a rookie class, which again, that's wait and see because I'm wearing this Mariners hat. So Cal Riley, right? Is not in this rookie class, but he's also not in Topps Chrome. And the guy goes, well, the best thing you're chasing for is the buybacks for Judge and Ohtani. And I heard Judge, and my head tilted up. And I giggled, and I just turned around because you never want to interrupt a sale. You don't want to interject. Neither one of them heard me. Thank goodness. I kind of was like, and I went on and actually saw some Mattingly stuff for Hitman, which then me and him made a conversation on one of the cards was kind of sketchy, which I want to do some more investigation work. So I'll go back to this one. But, Cal Riley has a good shot at being the American League MVP. I mean, 60 home runs, catcher, a different name, which a lot of people like to. Ohtani probably will be, and it's not because of the playoffs. And if anybody wants to argue that if he's maybe not, he's probably the greatest player ever. And I want to talk more about that with my dad on Monday. The generational talent we have now. I've been saying it. You want to talk about the golden era. Yes, guys are not batting 300, but it's different metrics now. These guys are something special that they just play at a different level. everybody on the team hits for power, everybody defends, and when mistakes are made, they're so blown up that, and everything's televised and boom, 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 that it makes it that much bigger. I do want to talk more about that, but back to getting a little off subject here. The card shop, and I don't. This is where I'm on. Told y'all leave me out of the vintage ultra modern debate. I'm done, and this kind of made it even more where I think it's a ridiculous thing. It's not vintage ultra modern. It's old hobby, new hobby. And when I go into this car shop, it's the new hobby. Wasn't very much vintage. It was a little bit, not much, but it was a lot of boxes, a lot of blasters, tables to open, tables to trade. They were having a TCG where the other half of the building was non-sport, not just TCG, because I bought a hobby box of Disney. They had other non-sport Star Wars. They were sold out of Scooby-Doo. I was looking for a box of that. But it was a lot of TCG. But they were playing Star Wars Ultimate, which is a card game. It's just a card game, just like Pokemon and all that. I didn't know it was as big as it was. I was kind of watching a little bit, but I kind of felt like I was lurking. So I walked away. I want to look more into that because, if I were to do something like that, that'd probably be the one I would get into. I already have some of the cards. But it was just all ages, all demographics. It was pretty awesome. A lot of energy, a lot of juice. They had TVs playing games. They had soccer from overseas that was live. And this was kind of like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I think it was live. It was looked like it was live. And people were sitting there on couches watching it and looking through boxes. I wish their singles were a little bit more put together better. They had at least 10 people working in there. The two guys that were talking Pokemon, I have no idea about Pokemon. But the two guys were talking to one guy about Pokemon, and they were very confident that they knew what they were talking about. Excuse me. Allergy fan. One woman doing inventory. I think you bring up cards, and they'll price them, give you a good price on them. They got a place to do trades and where they buy cards. They got a guy that just sits back there. Then they had a guy in the office doing something. I don't know. It kind of reminded me of, I don't know if y'all ever seen that pawn shop. I forget where it's at, but it's huge. I think it's in Detroit, where that kind of guy sits back here in his office. It's kind of what it looked like. It was just something that was just really big. And I think this is something along that Fanatics wants. This is the Jeff Wilson style large place. And it was called Triangle something hobby shop. Nicely put together. Very clean. Very linear. Like I said, I wish they would take the time and put their singles together better. But whatever they're doing, it must be doing well because they have a lot of employees for a hobby shop. And it was packed. I mean, yes, a lot of it was people playing Star Wars. And I think it was like 3 or 4 tables across and 2 or 3 deep. I think it was 3 deep. So it was like 12 tables, I think, in there. Like there's 6-footers. And not all of them were full. There were some people sitting there going through boxes, but most of them were people playing that. I don't know if they do different tournaments. I didn't get it. it was so much going on that I was kind of overwhelmed myself. Uh, I wish I would have. Hey, can I talk to somebody about what goes on in here and all that, so I could be more uh, tell you what's going on. But I think this is the way that the new hobby shops are going to go. Boxes. I mean, that's Ryan's that way. I've been to his hobby shop. It's just small, but he's got places to break product. Uh, it's about the selling the boxes now instead of the singles. Even though we talk all the time, it's a breakers culture. You wouldn't have known it in there. I don't know if they, I don't know if they break in there. I don't know. I know they take stuff for there is a guy for Washington State with the last name of Voorhees. Here it is at Halloween. But I know they take submissions for grading because they were doing that when I was standing in there. So it's a place where I'm eager to get back to. It's not somewhere that I would make it a, oh, I got to go. But when I'm in that area, I would definitely go out of my way to go over there if I'm close enough. If I'm within, a 30-minute drive, I think it's worth it. And plus some good eating places that I don't have here is different. So that makes it cool too, just to go in a different spot. And also it has, for me, video game store there. So not a place I want to go every week or anything like that. But if I had it around, that'd be a cool hangout spot. I could see that being where they got their regular, especially when it's slow during the week or whatever. But I do think, and I don't think any of it's a bad thing. There's a few other things that point to this new way of collecting. I bring it up with PSA and all that, and I'll build on that topic tomorrow. But I really I didn't have any music in my car, nothing for the drive there or back. I usually listen to a book. I didn't listen to a book at all today. I just had my thoughts and just I know when you I don't know if it does it to you, but as I've gotten older, birthdays make you reflect and think on things. And I feel, I've said it before, I feel like I'm in a very good spot right now. Probably want to, I try to destroy it sometimes. I think a lot of us without even thinking about it, destroy ourselves when we're in a good spot to make things harder for ourselves. I definitely will do that. And I'm not saying that I'm not trying to do that now, but I still, even with doing that, I feel like I'm in a very good spot. Life, hobby, all of that. And very happy with things. Hobby wise, I was listening to John, his video this week. I know he was in a tough spot personally with work. That's just the way things, especially in your management. I feel for those people that lost their jobs. Hopefully there's someplace for them out there. And but listening to him and and how he's hobbying and things like that really got me thinking too today. Like, how he went from having boxes to, wanting to have a small collection to enjoy. Or not, well, at least one that he can have in his room out of boxes. And as you can see around me, I kind of feel the same way. The stuff that I have in boxes, not all of it, but I have one shelving unit with my PC. The other shelving unit I have is straight up everything that could sell. And the stuff on the bottom shelf of my PC one is also stuff that I'm selling as well. So, I was sitting there going, man, I think a lot of us in this collecting space are feeling the same thing. It's like he's going after a car that's going to be a couple of $1,000s, and in order to do that, you either got to sell some stuff, or because not everybody's can have just $2,000 already to buy something. So I feel like for me it's saving. I make my big purchases at the National. I sit there sometimes and I wonder why I make all these small purchases, because I can save up, but I also have other goals as well. I like quality in my stuff, and that's what I'm really doing with flipping on sports lots. I sold 200 cards to get 2 autographs, and that's the way I want to be. I do want to slim down my collection, and and I'm doing that. I took a big bin of pops and other stuff out of my collection, just overall collection. Stuff I didn't need that you could go to the shop. I traded in for store credit, because it's just, I talk about all types of collecting on here. It's just not sports cards. It's all of it. And I want to streamline what I have. That way I can really enjoy it. I don't want to mess. I don't want to be a hoarder of things that I just don't care about. And man, this community's really helped me with that. It really has. And that's why I think right now, that's why I feel like I'm in a really good spot in my hobby. I have a good, at 54, I'll be 54 tomorrow. I feel like I have figured out some things, and I'm still learning other things. You're always learning. And I don't want to be the old dog that can't learn. I don't want that. I just want to always be learning. Son of a bitch. But, with that being said, I want to make my some of these videos shorter. I got a PSA return for Wednesday. So I'm happy, so I'm not too happy, but I'm happy I got my cards back. I'm still happy with them. The ones I'm not happy with were the ones I was going to sell. That's why I'm not too happy. It was my PC. I wouldn't care. There's one that's on my PC that's a head scratcher a little bit, but that's okay. It's in my PC. And I was telling the guy, most of my PC is graded. I'd rather have a lot of the important cards graded, and the other ones don't have to be, like my Mets cards. I have 2 boxes of Mets cards, and a row of Cowboys and a couple rows of Caps cards. That stuff don't need to be great. It's not even sleeved. They're just thrown in there. I just go through them every once in a while to see what I got, and that's it. And I don't know how much longer I'll be just keeping that. I don't know if it's. I always go through. I'm always, and that stuff is kind of like, but with that being said, I hope everybody comes around tomorrow night. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna have a night of I'm gonna change my name too, because I feel like if I change my name, people will start giving me a little respect for what I say. Because I've been saying some things. This is just a little tipping point for 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, now that's coming up like it's all of a sudden a thing. And it's irked me a little bit. It's irked me a little bit because I never get any. I don't think I've gotten credit from anybody anywhere that some of the stuff I talk about. Hey, Scott talked about that. And I never really cared. But now I'm starting to go, I feel like I should have just a little bit of respect for some things. And like I said, I don't know everything, and I get lucky every once in a while. And I just want to, sometimes you want that a boy, right? So with that being said, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Like, share, tell a friend. Welcome to my new subscribers, and I will see ya.